Hi STAIR students, my name is Miss Asher, and this is Lesson 8 of Unit 3 in your writing journal. So today's writing journal activity is called Mother May I, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be writing a persuasive essay to convince or to persuade our parent or guardian to let us do something that they normally would not let us do. So can you ever think of a time that you asked your parents for something that they normally wouldn't say yes to? Like maybe you asked if you could stay home from school, or you asked if you could eat dessert before your dinner, or you wanted to get a special toy just because, or you wanted to stay up late or wear a really silly outfit to school. So can you think of some things that you've asked your parents for that they did not say yes to, but they're things that you really want to do? So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a list with 5 things that we could ask our parents for that they wouldn't normally say yes to, and then we're going to choose one of those list items and we're going to write our persuasive essay to convince them, hopefully, to let us do one of those things. So because we have a lot to cover in today's video, I went ahead and wrote my list of my 5 items that I thought about that I could maybe ask my mom for, of things that she wouldn't normally say yes to, but maybe if we wrote a really good convincing essay, we could get her to agree to one. So for my Mother May I list, I first asked, Mother, may I eat ice cream for breakfast? And then I said, Mother, may I trade cars with you? She has a nicer car than I do, and I thought maybe that would be a good thing to ask for. Number 3, I said, Mother, may I have your bike? Number 4, I said, Mother, may I get a puppy? And then my last one I wrote is number 5, Mother, may I go to the beach? So out of these items, let's see, I'm thinking she's probably not going to trade cars with me. I'm thinking we may not be able to go to the beach right now. Eat ice cream for breakfast. I think she would let me do that, maybe, but I think I'm going to try for something that's a little bigger. I'm going to ask her something a little bigger than just ice cream once. I think I'm going to ask her to get a puppy. Okay, so I'll go ahead and circle that so we know what our list item that we're going to write our persuasive essay about. Okay, so I'm going to ask my mom in my letter for a puppy, and hopefully through seeing my examples and hearing what else I gave you some ideas that hopefully you can figure out 5 possible items to ask your parent for, and then pick which one of those is your favorite or which one of those you think you have the most reasons for, and then you can go ahead and get started with brainstorming. So once you've picked out your item, our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the outline that is written on this page, which again is Unit 3, Lesson 8, and the page says Mother May I. So we're going to look at the outline that's on this page. It's right here, and you'll see that there's an area where it says get my attention with a great opening sentence, and then it has a blank for you to write your opening sentence, and then you'll put reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and then we're going to close it with a reminder about what it is we want. So we'll restate that, and then that'll be the outline for our persuasive essay to hopefully convince our parent of that thing that we want. So when you're writing your outline, you want to make sure to start your story with, or start your persuasive essay with a really good opening sentence. You want something that's going to really grab your audience's attention, and remember your audience in this case is your parent or your guardian, who you want to let you do that thing that they normally don't let you do. So we want to have a really strong opening sentence that's going to grab their attention and hopefully convince them of what it is that we would like them to let us do. So what's a good opening sentence if I want my mom to let me get a puppy? So remember, this is something that I want to really grab her attention. So I'm going to say, did you know that getting me a puppy would be the best decision you could make as a parent right now? And yeah, I think I'm going to use that for my opening sentence because I know that my mom wants to be a good parent, and so if I tell her that she needs to get me a puppy in order to be a good parent, I think that's going to help my case. So I'll go ahead and write down the opening sentence of my outline, which is going to say, did you know getting me a puppy would be the best you could make, the best decision you could make as a parent right now. Okay, so that is a really strong opening sentence I've got, and I went ahead and wrote it on the board for you. So this will be the first sentence of my persuasive essay. It says, did you know getting me a puppy would be the best decision you could make as a parent right now? Okay, so now that we have our opening sentence, we are going to need to come up with 3 reasons why we think that we should get that thing, or 3 reasons that we think we can use to convince our parent or guardian that we do need this thing and they should let us do it. So, for example, if you really wanted a trampoline, maybe one of your reasons could be that trampolines help you get exercise, and you could practice your gymnastics, maybe you could become more coordinated. So those would be some good reasons if you were getting a trampoline. Or maybe if you were asking to go to Disney World, some good reasons would be to make lasting memories, or to spend time with your family, or to get lots of good pictures to hang up around the house. So those would be some good reasons. But what are some reasons why I think my mom should let me get a puppy? So, one good reason that I think that I'll write, something that I see a lot of people say when they're trying to get animals from their parents, is that it'll teach responsibility. Because when you have a pet, you have to feed it, you have to clean up after it, you have to take it on walks, and there's a lot of things you have to remember. So for my first reason why I think my mom should let me have a puppy is because it teaches responsibility. So because this is our first draft, that is all I'm going to write, is just that simple phrase, teaches responsibility, is reason number 1. And hopefully you thought of a reason number 1 why it would be good for you to do that thing that you're asking your parent for. And you can go ahead and write that in your outline. So let's think of another reason why my mom should let me get a puppy, something that might help her to get on board with that idea. So we already put that it'll teach me responsibility. I'm also going to put that a puppy is good for companionship. So they say that dogs are a man or a woman's best friend, and that having a dog would be good for me because it'll make sure I'm not lonely. So I'll just put companionship, which means like friendship. So having a puppy will make sure I always have a companion or a friend. So reason number 2, and again, this is just my outline, so I'm going to keep it simple. And I just wrote reason number 2, companionship. Okay, so now before we write our closing argument, or our closing sentence to wrap up, we need one more reason. So what's another good reason that my mom might want to let me get a puppy? What's something that my mom thinks is beneficial to me and she wants me to do that I would do more of if I had a puppy? Here we go. So one thing that puppies need a lot of is they need a lot of exercise and a lot of walks and time outdoors. So I will say that getting a puppy will help me to be more active, because I'll need to go outside to walk the dog and to take it to the bathroom and to play with it. So I'll say that help me be active. Okay, so let's look at what we have so far. We have our opening sentence, which says, did you know that getting me a puppy would be the best decision? Oh, hi there, Mira. This is my cat, Mira, who likes to come and join in on my videos sometime. I don't think she wants me to get a puppy. I think she might be upset. I don't think she likes dogs very much. So maybe that's why she came to sit with me, is to say, we don't need any puppies in this house. Okay, Mira. So let's keep going. So our outline so far says, did you know getting me a puppy would be the best decision you could make as a parent right now? And then we have our 3 reasons, which says 1, teacher's responsibility, 2, companionship, which remember is like friendship, and number 3 is to help me be active. So I think those are some pretty compelling reasons why we might be able to convince my mom to let me get a puppy. And so now we're going to put our closing statement that is just going to wrap up our points and sort of drive home what we're trying to say, which is that getting a puppy would be good for me. So just like we did with our opening sentence, where we had a really strong opener, we want to make sure that our closing sentence is equally strong, just so it'll really help to convince our parents of that thing that we really want. So for my closing sentence, what can I say? I just want to remind my audience, which again is my parent, again of that thing that I want. So I think that I'll say, if my happiness and well-being are important to you, you should consider letting me get a puppy. There we go. I think that is a really strong closer because it reminds my mom of what I'm trying to say, is that if you're a good parent, you'll get me a puppy. Now maybe that's a little bit manipulative, but that is the point of a persuasive essay, is to use all the tools in our toolbox to persuade. So I'll say, if my happiness is important to you, you'll consider getting me a puppy. Actually, I don't have space for all that, so since this is our rough draft, I'm not going to put the whole sentence. I'm just going to say, you'll get me a puppy. And then I will read it to you one more time, and then we will start making this into our final draft, which is going to be our completed letter that we're going to make from this outline I have. Okay. You'll get me a puppy. Okay, so here is our final version of our rough draft. I'll read it for you one more time. It says, did you know getting me a puppy would be the best decision you can make as a parent right now? Number 1, teacher's responsibility. Number 2, puppy provides companionship. Number 3, a puppy would help me be active. And then for our closing sentence, it says, if my happiness is important to you, you'll get me a puppy. Okay, so for me, that seems like a pretty strong outline. And now we are ready to take that outline and make it into a full-blown persuasive essay. So, because we had a lot to cover, ooh, that just fell, that's okay. Because we had a lot to cover in this video, I went ahead and made my outline into a final persuasive essay for you. And now I'm going to read you my whole thing so that you can get an idea of how to take your rough draft to that final product to show your parents and hopefully convince them of that thing that you really want. So here it goes. And I titled my essay very simply. I called it, Why I Need a Puppy, because that's exactly what I'm trying to communicate, is why I need a puppy. So it starts off, it said, did you know that getting me a puppy would be the best decision you could make as a parent? First of all, having to care for a puppy would teach me responsibility. Also, they say dogs are a man's best friend. Having a puppy would mean I'd always have companionship and I'd never be lonely. Lastly, having a puppy that needed to be walked and played with every day would help me to stay active and get outside more. This would help me to lead a more active lifestyle. In conclusion, if my happiness and well-being are important to you, please consider allowing me to have a puppy. And there you go. That is my very persuasive essay. And I'll have to show this to my mom and see if she is persuaded or convinced by my points. And I hope that you guys took some inspiration from this and really can write those strong opening statements and give some compelling good reasons. And then you'll show these to your parents, and hopefully it'll do the trick, and maybe you can get something that you normally would not be allowed to have or to do. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that this activity helps to bring some extra privileges or some extra good luck into your life, and I hope that you can get that thing that you're asking for. And I hope to see you guys again for our next video. Bye, STAIR students.